I don't want to see this.
What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and I'm going to tell you about how my 50 cal exploded and I almost bit the dust about 2 weeks ago.
Jesus!
So I know a lot
Holy
of you
fuck!
are probably wanting me to explain my injuries, and I'm
What
going
the
to
hell?
do that.
Oh my
but I think
god,
it's
that is
best
a
we start from the
gnarly
beginning.
fucking
I
cut
know
you have
some
on the
of you are
neck,
going to
man.
try to skip around in this video.
Jeez.
I highly recommend you stay tuned and listen to all of this. But for those who are going to skip around, let me clear something up first. This was not the Barrett that we tortured tested, and this was a complete freak accident. There's nothing that I did to have caused this. So April 9th, 2021, we come out here to shoot a fire hydrant with some slap rounds using my Serbu RN50. So we have the Serbu RN50 with the 36-inch long heavy barrel, and we're gonna go ahead and go big or go home and start out with this. This is a 50 BMG slap tracer round. The slap rounds tend to go a little to the right, so I aimed a little to the left, but this one actually hit true to where
Does
I
that
was
shit go
aiming.
through or does it
We hit
deflect
right
off?
here. And you can see that thing is smoking. And then we blew right through the back of
Yeah,
this
okay,
thing.
it goes right
Everything
through.
was going pretty smooth. We shot the fire hydrant several times, but the slap rounds were acting a little funny. One of the slap rounds hit like 1.5 feet low and to the right. I say we hit it with one more slap round, but this time
That is
aimed for
insane.
the thickest
Like, that's the size of his hand, dude. My hand is thick. That shit's bigger than my head, probably. Width.
part of the fire hydrant and see what happens.
If someone shot me, it would be bigger than it could get like caught and it would be like a bone. It is nuts. It wouldn't get caught because of the force. But if it did get caught, there would be one end on one side, one end on the other, dude. Notice how much larger the muzzle flash is compared to the first slap round. Jesus. That shit was like an explosion.
The gun was functioning normally, as it always has. I've been using this gun for a long time now, and I've never had any issues out of it. So before all this happened, we took one last shot, and it was actually really, really cool. The round was stuck out the back of the fire hydrant. This is a 50 BMG silver red tip armor piercing incendiary tracer. So we went through the top of the fire hydrant. Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh
holy
my
fuck.
gosh. It's just stuck out the back. After that, I decided I was gonna take one last shot with a slap round and try to hit the thickest spot on the fire hydrant. So before I loaded my last slap round, I know that there was no barrel obstruction because I literally found the round in the fire hydrant. But this last round that I loaded into my Serbu RN50 was a very, very hot round, and I had no idea. And there's really no way for me to have ever known that this round was as hot as it was.
Here, I'll move my camera down here.
So here you can see me taking the last shell casing out, and now I'm loading in the slap round.
I like that.
I screw the cap on all the way, and the gun closes completely, and everything is functioning as normal. And one thing is something someone may mention is maybe I didn't screw the cap on all the way. Well, you can clearly see the cap is screwed on all the way, and this gun actually will not close if the cap is not screwed on all the way. So everything was functioning good on the gun. What I didn't know was the slap round that I put inside it was extra, extra hot, and I had no idea. And there's really no way for me to have ever known. These rounds are extremely rare, and they're very old. They're like $100 a piece. These aren't manufactured anymore, and really there's no way you can really know what's happened to them over time as they've passed hand to hand. I was under the impression that these were genuine military surplus rounds and hadn't been tampered with. So now I'm gonna actually show you what happened. It's not graphic. All the graphic stuff happened after the fact, and I'm gonna tell you all about that, but I am gonna show you what happened just so you can see what happened to me that day.
So the bullet messed up? Jesus, dude. Oh my god. That is insane. The shit fucking blew it in
So
half,
when I
dude.
pulled the trigger, the gun exploded almost immediately. So the first thing that went was this cap. And this cap is solid steel, and it is very, very heavy. If you look right here, the threads are sheared off of this gun completely. I spoke with Mark Serbu, and he said that normal pressures are 55,000 PSI. And for those threads to have sheared off and this cap to have just blown off like that, we're looking at over 85,000 PSI. So the cap blows off. It's kind of hard to put these on because of my little nose brace. I'll explain. But safety glasses are on, and this cap, you can see this little crescent
That
here.
is gonna be an insane
This cap
fucking
hit me
scar, dude.
right there. I'm not really sure which way, probably more like this, but it struck me in the face. When this cap hit me in the face, it broke my
Oh, that must be
bone
uncomfortable too,
in
having
3
fucking
spots,
stitches
here,
on your
here, and
neck,
here.
man.
It also broke my nose, and that's why I have this on. I've had to have facial surgery to repair all this. Here's the really bad part though. On this lower, normally there's these 2 ears that stick up right here. And this is what prevents you from closing the gun when the cap's not on all the way. If the cap is on all the way, it will fit perfectly right here with those ears pushed up against it. When the cap blew off the gun, it came straight back, shearing those ears off the lower. One of these is still at the hospital, and this is the one we found. This one zipped right past my head, went inside my hat, blew a hole through it, and took it off my head, what appears 7 to 8 feet. Now the other
Holy.
one is what almost ended me. The other ear hit me right here
Jeez.
in the throat. It proceeded to lacerate my jugular vein and then punctured a hole in my right lung. As for my hand, my
Holy
best guess
fuck.
is this is what did it. In the video, you can see that the stock almost disappears instantly. I believe it came in a downward motion.
Bro, I don't know if I'm
and hit
ever gonna
my
want to
finger.
fucking use a sniper at like a
You have
firing
your
range
natural
ever, dude.
bend in your index finger.
Holy.
Well, this bone right here looked like a V. So my finger looked like a big W. So back to the lacerated jugular. I've now been hit in the throat, and I'm not really sure what happened because when this cap hit me in the face, I went blind in my right eye instantly. I have vision coming back now, and they say my eye should make a full recovery. But in that moment, I went completely blind in this eye, and it was like I had been punched. And I went backwards, and I landed on all fours. A lot of you wonder who is behind the camera in my videos. This is my dad. His name is
Huh?
also Scott. If he had not been out here with me, that would have been it for me.
Scott and Scott.
He come running up and he let me know of my injuries because I was still in a daze. I've just been punched in the face by a big metal cap. And he let me know real quick that there was a hole in my neck and I was losing a lot of blood really fast. My dad shoved his thumb into my neck and said, "Put your thumb there."
Jeez.
Now that I'm aware of
Oh
what's
my
going on,
god.
I
This
took
is
my
insane,
left thumb,
insane fucking description,
I
dude.
took my shirt, wrapped it in my shirt, and I shoved it as far into my neck as possible.
Oh, this guy.
I was not aware that my jugular was lacerated, but I did know this is really bad. I have a law enforcement background, and I've been trained in injuries and wounds and gunshots and things like that. And I know very well that if you get hit in the neck, it's not good because you can't tourniquet a neck. After I had plugged the hole, I applied extreme pressure, pinched my head down into my hand, and made a run for the truck. So the truck here was right near us. There's a trailer attached. I had to run around the front. I jumped in the passenger seat. Dad jumped in, and we took off. And this all happened in a matter of seconds. I would say under a minute. We were in that truck and just hauling tail into town. Something I forgot to mention, this upper weighs like 25 pounds. And you can see in the video that it just gets thrown off the table. So much pressure came out the back of this upper that it launched it off the table. It's an insane amount of energy that was thrown into my body. So now we're driving very fast into town. I am applying constant pressure to my throat, and I'm breathing very slowly, trying to control my heart rate, because the faster your heart rate, the faster you're going to bleed. My dad's driving, so
I don't think
thought it
I'll
would
be able to
nice
calm
of me
nothing,
to
dude.
Call the ambulance.
I would probably just
Dad
fucking
didn't
die.
agree with this.
Fucking have a heart
But I
attack,
wanted
die.
to do it myself because I wanted to try and stay awake. I needed to be doing something to keep myself conscious. If you have an iPhone, there's this nifty little feature on the side here, and if you hit that button one too many times, it'll call 911. This can be kind of annoying when you're trying to shut off your alarm in the morning, but when there's a lot of bodily fluids on your phone and you can't open it, it comes in really handy. I got on the phone with 911 and I let them know what had happened and that we were coming into town and they were gonna send an ambulance to meet us halfway. There were several times where I thought I was gonna pass out. And I knew if I passed out that that was gonna be it, because my dad's driving. If I pass out, who's gonna keep applying pressure to my neck to keep me from bleeding out? Times like this, you really need something to focus on, and I focused on my kids. I had their faces in my brain, and I just focused on them, and I fought as hard as I could. I stayed conscious the entire time. We met the ambulance halfway, they got me loaded up, and we took off towards the hospital. And like I said, I know that I was in a bad spot, and I don't know if you know this, but if your jugular is completely severed, you have 30 seconds. I knew that being hit in the throat, I may not have much time, but the closer we got to the hospital, the more my confidence built, and I thought, hey, maybe I'm gonna be all right. When I was in the ambulance, I asked them to cut my shirt off because I was having trouble breathing, and I thought maybe I'd been hit in the chest as well. They cut my shirt off. There wasn't anything there, but when I got to the hospital, they x-rayed me, and they said my right lung had collapsed because it had filled with blood, and that was from this little guy here puncturing my lung as well. So from there, they had to intubate me while I was wide awake, and I tell you, that is not fun. Take this long metal rod with a point on it, and they stick it through your rib cage, and
Jeez. Oh, he's
it
awake,
wasn't
dude?
fun. After that, I was
Holy.
feeling a little better. I could breathe a little better. And then they wanted me to take my thumb out of my neck, and I was like, we're not taking my thumb out of my neck. You just wrap it up with some tape. It's staying there. But they told me I had to take my thumb out of my neck. So they had a bunch of gauze and packing, and as soon as I pulled it out, they packed my throat. When I pulled my thumb out, that's when I saw my finger, and they said that I audibly said, oh, that's not good, because my finger looked like a big W. They informed me after that that they were gonna have to life flight me to Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. Very, very good hospital with very, very good doctors. Obviously, I'm here making this video. Big shout out to Vanderbilt Hospital. You guys are the best. So now they're about to knock me out, and at this moment, I realized that this may be the last time that I see my wife or see my dad, because once they knock you out, you know, that's it. Either they're gonna fix you or you're not waking up. My wife had arrived. I called her in there, I held her hand, and we had words, and then I called my dad in to pray. And after that, I remember waking up in Vanderbilt Hospital, hooked up to every machine possible. I'm gonna throw some pictures in here. So they did a number on
Jesus
me.
Christ.
So you can see this cut here, and this actually goes all the way down to right here. To repair my jugular and my lung, they had to open up my chest completely. They cut me completely open, just like open heart surgery. They told me a guy my
Bro,
size
I don't
should
understand how
hold-
people could watch like Grey's Anatomy and any type of like doctor show like that where they show shit like this. Not like actual real stuff, but they show surgery.
6 to 8 units of blood, and total.
That shit is not.
from all
I'm
the
just
blood I
fucking
lost
cringing just
from the
listening
initial
to it
injury
being described,
and the
dude. Imagine
surgeries,
seeing
they
it.
had to give me 5 units. There was also
Imagine living it, dude.
There was also a chance that I could have had a stroke. To repair your jugular vein, they have to pinch it off. Well, your jugular vein supplies the oxygenated blood to your brain. So they can only pinch it off for so long. They pinch it off, they repair it, Then after that, when they open it back up, all that blood rushes into your brain, and there's a chance you could have a stroke. Praise God, I did not have a stroke as well. As for my hand and my face, they had to do surgery on that as well. I have pins in my finger to hold it in place. And like I said, they had to repair my orbital bone in 3 spots. As you can see, they cut me here and right here. And they also cut inside my mouth.
The
all the way back
precision
here
you
to
would
the
need
front
for that,
to
man.
be able to get to
All
of
around
those
his eye and
spots.
shit.
So I had a breathing tube in, but I still wanted to talk. I wanted to know what had happened to me and what was going to happen. Well, my nurse, Cody, shout out to that guy, best nurse ever, brought me a dry erase board so that I could write and ask questions. I wanted to talk to my wife. Well, he would call her for me, and then I would write out what I wanted to say, and he would say it over the phone for me, and then I could sit there and talk to my wife. Also, I really wanted
Oh,
a
that's
Mellow
sick.
Yellow. I was craving it so bad. When I was finally unhooked from everything, I remember sitting in my room, and he peeked his head in. He was like, "Can you eat and drink now?" And I said, "Yeah." And he handed me a Mellow Yellow. Coolest nurse ever. So for about 2 days, I had tubes coming out of the front of my chest, 1 tube coming out of my right side, and 1 tube coming out from behind my collarbone to drain everything around my lungs. And I had to carry this little vacuum pack with me. They removed those really quick. I'm healing extremely fast. They kicked me out of trauma within a few days. This happened on April 9th, which is a Friday. I went home the following Saturday. There is a lot more to this story when it comes to my injuries and everything that I had to do to overcome them. Long story short, I shouldn't be standing here. I should be 6 foot under, and if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So I know there's one big question that you're all wondering. What's gonna happen to Kentucky Ballistics, and am I gonna keep making videos? And the answer to that is absolutely. I'm not gonna quit doing what I love because of a freak accident. There's nothing that can keep me from continuing on. I love what I do, and I appreciate every
Fire,
single
dude.
one of you. I am healing at a Wolverine rate. I am healing so fast that really a lot of people have been kind of confused at how fast I'm healing. That's God, he's healing me quick. And I'm gonna keep making videos, and I cannot wait to get back out here. I have some videos planned, and I think you're gonna like them. It's gonna be some really funny stuff. Also, I know there's gonna be a good bit of you that wanna support me while I'm healing, and I really, really appreciate that, but I don't
What is
wanna
that
do a
shirt?
GoFundMe or
He didn't have that shirt on before, did he? No. Just put a thumb in it? Is that like something to do with guns? You put your thumb in something?
and I really, really appreciate that, but I don't wanna do a GoFundMe or anything like
Put your
that.
thumb in a hole?
If you wanna help me out, I want you
Thumbs
to get
out
something
brown?
out of it too. So we got some new shirts. The doctors told me that if it wasn't for this thumb, that I would have died. This thumb saved
Oh, in
my
his
life.
neck.
And
Oh,
my wife came up with the
In
saying,
his neck,
just put a
okay.
thumb in it. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. So that's what we're going with. We have just put a thumb in it shirts.
That's
I
sick.
think these are awesome. And if you want to support me, there's a link in the description down below. They're available now. Pick you up a shirt and support Kentucky Ballistics. This is not my normal content and definitely not what you expected me to post this week, but
Yeah.
this is something
Pretty sick fucking ending.
I felt like I needed to let you know. Again, this was a complete freak accident, and there's no way I would
43
have ever
million
known
views.
just how hot that round was until it was too late. So like I said, I'm healing really fast, and I'm gonna be back to it as soon as possible. But in the meantime, keep your eyes peeled for some pretty interesting videos I have planned and my update videos. Before I close this video, I just wanna say how much I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for making what I do possible. And I know that the majority of you are gonna be extremely supportive right now, and I really, really appreciate that. Don't forget, if you wanna pick up a shirt, there's a link in the description down below. And as always, my name is Scott.
Yeah, pretty sick video. Good ending, you know. Most of it I was just like, pretty dark shit, but hey, you tied it up with a nice ending. Great video. Actual great video.